Hi, my name is Denise Gardens, author of the book Reflections, A Parent SOULution, How to Create a Harmonious Relationship with Your Child, Teenager, or Adult Child. Thank you so very much for taking time out of your day to join me to talk about parenting. And yes, let me reassure you, right from the get-go, it is possible to have a harmonious relationship with your child, teenager, or adult child. And even though you may not be thinking that right now, because perhaps you are experiencing a lot of challenges with your relationship, and more specifically, challenges with respect to your child, your son or daughter, not being on the right path in their life, and you're worried about that, I'm here to tell you, yes, it is possible to have that harmony between you and your son or daughter. I've been through a pretty intense journey with my son for more than 3 decades. I know 3 decades is a long time. And a couple of years back, I experienced what I would call a spiritual awakening. And here's what happened. The conflicts between my son and I were so intense because I had been fixed on the idea that I needed to help him heal his life and help him get on the right path so that he could be successful and happy. And all the efforts that I put in, all that time trying to put him back on track just did not work. And of course created a lot of conflict and stress and worry and anxiety and self-judgment on my part with respect to my parental skills. I felt that I failed as a parent. I felt that I failed him. If he wasn't happy, I wasn't happy. And so that, was just really unhealthy, both for my life and his. And a couple of years back, I decided that, enough is enough. Even though I had read hundreds of self-help books, I went to seminars and workshops and so on. Yes, it did help. Yes, it did help my personal life. And yes, it did help my professional life. But it didn't heal my relationship or my son's life. And the reason is because I couldn't hear the messages, because I was so convinced that I had the power as a parent to influence my son's direction, my son's life path. And I really wanted to make sure that his life was okay because I loved him. And I loved him so much that I just wanted him to be happy. And that didn't work. I'm telling you right now, if you're fixed on if you're thinking, I should say, that you have all this power to put your son or daughter's life back on track, I don't want to disappoint you, but it may not work out for you. And the reason I'm saying that is because nobody has control over somebody else's life. And so when I asked a couple of years ago, I said, I didn't know where else to turn. I had read so many books and tried so many different things. I just literally got on my knees, emptied my mind, opened my heart, started breathing deeply, and I set a very, very strong and pure intention to ask God to give me guidance when it came to parenting and healing this relationship. And I can tell you that my level of consciousness shifted because I was now able to hear and feel the messages of what this relationship was really about. And of course, I didn't receive all the messages at once, probably because I could not handle all of that truth in one shot. So it happened over a year and a half, I would say. And I'm here to tell you that spiritual awakening shifted my whole perception of what parenting was about. And I wish and I hope that you will discover the same thing for yourself. And that's what my book is about. It's about my journey. And I've also created a seminar to deepen my connection with you and to allow and to convey this message that I received at a much deeper level. And my role is not to tell you what your inner guidance should be telling you. My role is to help you recognize and to connect with that inner guidance so that you become the best parent that you could possibly be and not be contaminated by what everybody else expects you to be as a parent, and that even includes your child. Our inner guidance is there to help us live our purpose in the most honest and with the utmost integrity. And when we contaminate our belief systems with everybody else's, it creates a roadblock between your mind and your heart, where in your heart is really where all of your inner wisdom exists. So having said that, this seminar will definitely inspire you, definitely help you bring peace and harmony to your relationship with your child, because the focus is going to be on you and not on your child. And when you heal the relationship with yourself, and healing is always a word that I don't really like to use, it's more when you shift your level of consciousness, the dynamic between yourself and your child will automatically shift. It cannot not happen. And this is what this seminar is really all about. It's the gift that you'll be giving yourself, and you will start enjoying becoming a parent. And do you know why? Because what you're going to discover is that being a parent, this relationship, parent-child relationship, is the most beautiful, extraordinary, miraculous gift you'll ever experience in your lifetime. And the reason, it's because this relationship is broadcasting your soul's purpose. Meaning, you'll know why you came into this lifetime when you discover the gift of this parent-child relationship. How fantastic is that? And my role, as I mentioned, is just to help you connect with that truth. I will never give you the truth. Only you have that truth for yourself, because every single one of us is unique. But here's the real nice piece of good news for everyone, is that when you connect with your inner self, inner guidance, and you connect and tap in to that beautiful energy that is yours and that is full of love and wisdom, that energy, when that connection happens, emanates from you and has a rippling effect on all the people around you, including your children, but also on all of the collective consciousness of humanity, which means that I benefit from it as well. So it's a win-win situation all the way around, because every one of us is connected to each other. So even though we don't consciously know what everybody else is doing, unconsciously we feel it at a soul level when there's some growth and expansion that happens within the collective consciousness. So isn't that great? I'm so thrilled to have this opportunity to connect with you. And what I would ask for you to do is to, after you've listened to this presentation, is to just turn everything off and listen to either some good music, but just calm your mind, open your heart, and breathe, and ask yourself, is this the right time for me to receive this message? Is this the journey that I should be embarking on right now to help heal my relationship with my son or daughter and to bring more harmony to it? And if the answer is yes, you will know. Then I ask you to please follow your intuition, follow your guidance, and join me in the seminar Parent SOULution, and the session 1 will be laying the foundation. And in this seminar, what we'll be talking about is how to release all of the beliefs that we currently have when it comes to parenting, all the beliefs that we failed as a parent, all the self-criticism that we imposed on ourselves, and to liberate and to free ourselves from all that, to make room and space for the new guidance that you'll be tapping into. And we'll also be exploring more of our humanity. How is it that we're all interconnected? And how does that impact my relationship with my son or daughter? And we'll also be talking about energy relationships. How does my shift really impact the life of my son or daughter? So we're going to be discussing all that and enjoying it at the same time, because we'll be connecting all the time, you and I. And the reason is that the format that you're seeing right now on this screen is the same format that's used in the seminar. So on the right bottom hand corner, you'll see questions and comments. So anytime during the seminar, you can most certainly send me a question or any kind of comments you have, any stories, any experience, any feedback that you have will be sent directly to me. And I will respond to your questions anytime, and I will make sure to respond as quickly as possible and to the best of my ability. So there will be a two-way communication between you and I. And I'm so privileged and honored that we have this potential of our paths crossing in this lifetime, because this energy flow that will be created between you and I will benefit you, will benefit me, and the rest of the world. So in closing, I would like to let you know that in the development and creation of this seminar, of course I did ask help from the spiritual realms. How could I not? I wanted to be a clear channel for the message that is so important for you to hear, that everything has to do with your level of consciousness and tapping into your inner wisdom. And having said that, the divine beings that I have been channeling for almost 20 years now are a collective consciousness that have provided me guidance for all those years through the written word. Now, the guidance that I received was extremely helpful for me, but you may be asking yourself the question, well, if she received all of this guidance, how come she didn't figure out what parenting really was about then? And that's a really good question, and I would ask it too. And the reason why I wasn't able to experience that spiritual awakening all that time was because I was so closed in my level of consciousness in thinking that I had the power to heal my son's life, and that it had nothing to do with him. It only had everything to do, had nothing to do with me, I should say, but had everything to do with him. So I couldn't hear or feel the truth of the messages that I was receiving for the most part when it came time to my parent-child relationship until a few years ago. And all that time that I was receiving the messages, I felt there was something there, but never could really experience the truth and wisdom. And that's where a shift in consciousness can change your whole life. And I am convinced the same thing will happen to you. So the divine beings have asked me to connect with you through the written word, and so they have a message for you that you will see in the next slides. So again, I thank you for the time that you spent in listening to me. I hope that our journey doesn't end here, that it will continue onto the next seminar, onto the seminar, I should say, laying the foundation. I would be privileged to have this opportunity to be with you during that time and during your journey. Many blessings to you, and enjoy the message from the divine beings.